Hello, everybody, and welcome to another full wonderful episode here with me, Mr. Pluggington, and the rest of the crew for the Star Wars 5e Adventures. Um, we currently don't have Rook again this session. He has some personal stuff that he's doing, so he let us know in advance for that. But
We were all counting on him.
we were all counting on him. That's great. Um, yeah, so without any further ado, we have Lore Guy, we have I need to get everyone's actual names and stuff. We have Tyler Good, and we have Vigis. Wait, is that how you say it?
It's VG's.
Vigis the pilot. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Without any further ado.
Wait, are you seeing our
Yeah, I click on your guys' profiles, but don't worry. Nobody can really see it.
I
Yeah, you're all good. Anyway, let us get started. So, last time on our adventure, you guys had encountered the Sith Inquisitor on Dantooine. You met up with your guys' with one of Nova's contacts. That was on Aintex or Apex, whatever. Apex Legends. Aintex Minor. You guys are now heading over towards Terrace to meet up with that contact. Steph, could you turn it down if possible? Or
time to look at the map. Okay. Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, so you guys are you guys are connected all the way to the hyperspace lane. Towards there, you're. What direction did you guys go in, Dantooine?
Flip a coin.
We are also scouring. Like, we basically set hyperspace, and until we get there, we're kind of taking. I guess we'd take a little bit of a longer. How long would this route take, actually? With our
Going the quickest.
0.5 best hypergrave out there.
Going the quickest route to there. Be about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. About 19 parsecs. I have no idea. I'm basing it on planets.
I'll put my headphones in.
Okay.
If you look on the grid,
play my fucking Sekiro game.
if you look on the grid segment, it'll tell you that each grid square is like 1500 parsecs.
It's 1500 parsecs, really? Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, then 15,
Yes,
30,
this galaxy is huge.
45.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, you can go from one planet to another planet in real space, but it takes forever.
Hold on, I gotta do some calculations.
You're a little bitch.
No, that's not what I wanted. You'd get there in about 85,000 parsecs. Let's just say that.
Time, not.
What's that?
I'm asking time, not distance.
Time the distance. I'd say it'd take you about. It'd take you about 2 days. But your guys are halfway there, so it'd be about a day and a half.
Like a little bit of a kind of maybe add a couple hours, but just to throw off if somebody can for whatever reason. But we are tearing this ship apart to find if there's any other trackers or anything like that.
Okay. if everyone's doing that, then everyone make me technology checks.
Oh boy.
Because you guys are tearing through a ship that is currently going through hyperspace.
My droid is going to help me, so I have advantage.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just making sure that I have the right thing pulled up before I roll.
Okay.
My roll for it is +1.
Not great.
No.
Okay, what
not
did we
20.
roll?
I have to.
20, a 14.
A 9, 3. Okay.
And a 13.
So,
You know what? I'm going to use my droid brain to roll another.
okay. So, Leto, with the 20,
Yes.
you're able to get a lot of the trackers that could possibly be on here.
There are more than one?
Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I'm still thinking. I'm trying to rethink. Oh, boy. Okay. So you look in the most obvious places where trackers would be for being hidden. You're not able to find any others while scouring through there. At least in those spots. And these are like the really hidden spots that you yourself would even put trackers, and even like professionals would place them. So you're going through like panels and passing wires to try and not like cut them or anything, and you don't find any other trackers. Nova, your droid also looks in various spots that he can reach and is not able to find any as well. You yourself, you're kind of having like double suspicions, so you double check a couple spots that your droid did just to be sure, because you know your droid's smart, but you think you're a little smarter. Buckeye, you are on the same wavelength as the droid, still nothing. And then finally, the ship goes on a full actual scan, detects a few errors within its systems due to it having recent upgrades or some modifications over time. So
Oh,
it's
that'd actually be a 14, actually.
a 14. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not able to find any other trackers really. There's really nothing.
Have you tried doing an external scan?
Yeah, we'll have to do that when we get to the station.
So, as that is happening, Nova is currently meditating and going through all of the books and stuff, or Nura is going through all the books and stuff to try and find some information about this recent Sith Inquisitor that you guys have encountered.
Well, until we get here, we could probably set up not a thorough, but a semi. Well, best way to explain, we could set up a basic external scan, but since we're in hyperspace, we can't do a thorough one.
Don't worry, the place I'm going, they'll know what to do to search the rest of the ship. I'm also going to get cameras, so hopefully we can stop anything like this from happening again.
You know what? If someone was able to place a tracker on the inside of the ship while you're striving, they needed to have been able to get on here, or at least get a probe that got on here.
That's why I'm thinking cameras might be needed.
Give me 5 minutes. Zarek gets up and grabs his vibro battle axe, and he goes investigating the entire ship, trying to find anything that
I'll
could be
help him.
hidden.
I'll give you a hand.
Well, do you have a better what's
I-
your investigation?
I definitely would.
Okay, then I'll assist you, but we'll say that I'm the one who got up first, but we're both searching everything.
Okay.
Laura is specifically trying to see is if there's anyone or anything that's hidden on the ship.
Nice, a 20.
Okay, what were you guys doing? Sorry.
We were just double checking to make sure if there anything is hidden.
Like anyone or anything that might be hidden on the ship.
Okay. Well, with the 20 and 19, you go around the ship trying to find some possible hidden spots, and you don't find exactly what you're looking for, but instead what you find is a small little compartment behind a panel. This panel seems to have been moved, not as of recently. It's a little stuck because of like the coating that's on it to keep it look like it's still in place, but when you go into it, you instead find a box. This box looks like a credit holding box.
I'll give it a quick look over to make sure it's not like booby trapped or anything, but then pop it open.
With the high enough roll, looking over it, it's not booby trapped or anything. There's nothing else attached to it. Just some hanging wires next to it, but that's about it. But they're not. They're part of the ship.
Sure, I'll take a look.
Looking into it, there's about 3,000 credits in there.
I'm gonna look over to him, split it.
Okay.
Sure. So it's about 1,500 per person. Or between me and you, if it's between each of us that are here, it would be 1,000.
You said it was 3,000 though, right? So it'd
Yeah,
be
3,000.
1,500.
Okay.
If you're not including Nura.
Nura's not helping, so he doesn't get any.
We're pulling some critical role stuff right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So, who do you end up buying the ship from? That might answer some of our questions here.
I have no idea. We can ask about it later, but I think Nura's kind of. I wasn't here when they got it, and I think he's kind of absorbed in his own thing right now. And he gets really cranky when you interrupt him.
Okay. So, as you guys are doing that, the little what was the species?
The Nexu?
Yeah, the Nexu. You hear Nura's door open as you hear Nura saying, "Go on, little one, I have important business. Go and play with the others." As you see, the little Nexu is about the size of a about 6-month-old puppy at this point. She looks very healthy. She's getting a very nice coat on her. It's more of like a grayish tone, and the darker tones are more of like a brown. Her teeth are beginning to become a little bigger instead of like less needle-like and more like instead of being needle-like and transparent, they're a little bit fuller. As she walks out and goes around and passes by you, as she sees the Mandalorian, and she begins to in like a defensive pose.
It's alright, buddy. I'm gonna kind of get down and give him a scratch. I assume I found a spot that he really likes, and I'm gonna give him.
Okay, roll
Scratch.
animal handling.
18.
Okay, So as you bend down towards her, she recognizes you like instantly. She looks over towards you and sort of like gets a little less defensive, and she walks over to you, still looking over at the person, like giving like soft like little like weird hissing noises. They're like they're not fully developed sounds almost, but they are like cat hisses almost. As she eventually calms down a bit, coming next to you, and it's just hanging out with you guys, being like a cat almost.
So he's pretty well trained. Besides, and when he
She
calms down, she's pretty well trained, and like we're having no issues with that so far.
yeah.
Because I know that. Okay.
Y- y-
And when she calms down, I'll give her a treat and.
yeah, she eventually calms down and gets to you. She looks over at the treat. Um, she begins to do like, she begins to go onto like her hind legs, and does almost like the cat paw thing. But instead of paws, you see like these enormous, like tiger-sized, claws do it. Like
Remind me not to.
like her claws are like almost fully developed.
Remind me not to mess with her without my suit on. I'm gonna kind of give it to her and give her a pet, and then probably head to bed. I mean, we've been hunting through the ship most of the day, and I know that we do want to be well rested for tomorrow.
Yeah. So you give it the treat. She quickly like bites it in the air and begins to chew. Go about her way. As the rest of you guys are heading towards bed, Lado, where are you heading?
Since I don't have set in stone quarters at the moment.
Yes, but there are multiple locations for beds though, because you guys are a passenger variant.
Uh,
Wait,
I guess what I
didn't we change that because the suits, the ship, room change?
Right. How many of those did you guys do?
Blah. Let me look into general chat for you. It would be under, I forgot. Ship.
Let's see.
Does it specify? It says based on size of ship.
Well, for medium, I think it's 4. For small, it's 2. I think.
We had 4. I'm just hunting. Okay.
Yeah, I got the photo. So
Yep.
you guys
Mess
had
hall,
3
living
passenger
quarters,
car.
recreation, and mechanic shop.
Okay, so you replaced several of those for that.
Several of what?
You replaced a couple of the passenger cabins with those.
Yeah.
With the rooms we have is a mess hall, living quarters, recreation, and a mech shop.
Okay.
Yep.
And of course, engine and all the actual important stuff on the ship.
Yeah, your engine bay,
still-
your engineer bay is just big. So, and it has
That's where I sleep.
yeah, and it has beds inside of it. So
A bed. It has.
it has a bed.
A single.
Hobbit.
Okay. So it's a little bit. So it's kind of like a combination of an F and B. So I gotta get a map of like that variant or something, dude. It'd be cool if we had a map variant of our ship. Anyway. So yeah, there are some bedrooms, but a lot of them are still occupied.
I think we've got like 4 bedrooms since
Yeah. It's based on the ship size
Yeah.
and suite capacity.
So we have one for each of the clone troopers. doors, so that's 2 gone.
Well,
Hulk has 1. And then I guess we have a free one then.
Wait, you have one too, no?
No, she sleeps
I
in the
sleep
engine
in
room.
Well, I guess that in this case we do have a spare one. I thought that Nova had moved, which is
Nope.
because
Well-
I thought that the spare engine room space what became the mechanic shop. Yeah.
So I guess I head to those quarters and I open the sliding door, and what do I see inside, Plug?
So, when you open the sliding doors, you see that this room has been used many a time. You see a crate or two full of, or emptied out of what was possibly some food-based, compound, as now there is flies, all over these, just, like, it's so loud in there of flies, it's ridiculous. There's various posters of Twi'leks and Togruta in very skimpy outfits. It looks very much like a teenager's room almost.
Oh, is this Bo Rains or is this Cart's room?
This looks like Kark's room.
Yeah.
There is also a couple tools and toolboxes in this area. They look like for modifications of some sort. So yeah.
Is there a plasma torch in there?
Yes, actually, there is a plasma torch that is sitting on like a dresser like stand, right next to the bed.
I lean my vibro battle axe up against the wall. I press the side of my helmet, sealing it, airlocking it from the rest of the ship, and then pick up the plasma torch and turn it on as I start going to town on all the rotten stuff in there.
Okay. So
Essentially just trying to kill all the
as
flies.
you pick it up, it does sound like it does have a bit of fuel, but not a lot. You go to burn all the flies as they are beginning to try and scatter a bit. But eventually you do burn away all the compound as the gas from it is being exhaled out of, or inhaled out of the ship from ventilations. And mainly just cleaning up this place to make it a little bit nicer. Eventually you finish up. It smells better than how it was before, but not a lot.
I mean, burning fly probably doesn't smell that good.
Oh yeah, it's quite crispy.
But no, you just if anyone walks into the main living area over in a corner, you're gonna find that box with all of Cart's stuff just shoved into the container and shoved into that corner
Okay,
while Zerk is cleaning up that room.
alrighty. So yeah.
And while he's cleaning up that room, I'm gonna go get some more muffins.
Okay. So, as that happens, I will count all this stuff as a bit of a long rest.
Yep, I fix up my droid, get all that stuff done.
Yep, your droid from the previous battle is... Wow, is banged up. He is missing some parts. As you repair him a little bit, he's actually missing a couple screws here and there for, like, vital stuff, such as, like, his wrist movement. He can't be able to move his left hand too well. His right foot is stuck in a complete straight, in a straight motion because the spring system for that is completely destroyed. His head movement is a bit jerky because of some vitals that seem to have been hit. That seems pretty okay for now, but will definitely need to be repaired.
Thank
Yeah, he's
God
hurting.
they gotta replace his core with Durasteel plating, or he'd be toast. So I'm gonna use some of the extra pieces I have.
Is he
Fix him up, get him up to.
is he turned on while you're talking to him?
Well, I'll turn off the. He'll be aware, but he won't be in like warning damage to like just keep half an eye on his systems in case anything does start to go wrong. I'll be aware of it.
Okay.
But I'll just be talking with him as I repair him and.
Yeah, he just stays still, going looking at you.
Based on that encounter, any optimization ideas? Any faults you found in your system? Any weak points?
Major weak points not found. Enemy last encountered was beyond comprehension. Logical explanation of strength was illogical.
That's force for you.
No force-based material was used. Physical manifestations were used. However, possible Durasteel will assist, but I will be much more heavier due to it.
Keeping you alive is priority. You may not be able to pass as a human as quickly, but I'll at least make it so that it can be removed if we need to sneak you in somewhere. Sound good?
Affirmative. A question, though, Mistress.
Of course.
Why keep a BX unit such as myself continuing after the Great Clone War, with various members of the crew being clones?
They should be at the same time fighting for the Republic. In some ways, your enemy is now the same. Your past actions and the shape I found you in, I don't think you ever got in much of a tussle. You were still in the manufacturing base, so the odds are you never actually hurt any clones. So one individual can't be blamed for an entire people's fault.
What is a people's? I am just a simple unit. If there were others like me, I would have seen much combat.
That is true. But should I be blamed for all the actions of Chiss? Or should people assume my actions because I'm Chiss?
The actions of one person should not reflect upon an entire species.
Same with droids then. The actions of a single subset of droids or a single build of droids shouldn't account, especially when one takes actions against the norm.
I see your logical point. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and the actions of my past comrades and units are not reflected upon me.
Excellent.
Back to topic. Slight modifications may be needed, yes. Preference, if allowed. A possible wrist-based flamethrower, similar to how the Mandalorians are able to use them in combat, if Mistress will permit such use.
Second, and because of the way he wears his armor, would there be enough room for one of those or something similar to it?
To fit onto his arm, possibly.
Hidden.
Oh,
in
hidden.
his arm.
Um,
Because he still wears the combat armor, even though the mechanics of it are all gone. Like he's basically just kind of, he's the droid with the suit on. Like it's not actually, he's not gaining any protection from the armor. So can I replace some of the what would be armor of the suit on his arm for the flamethrower? Because he doesn't actually need he loses armor in theory if he wears like the battle armor, but I'm basically just saying, oh, it's just like it's a disguise basically.
yeah, I know what you mean. I could say it could pass, but he may need to expose his arm a little bit, for the modification. because it'd be a pretty big one unless you're gonna go for something small and dinky with a short range. Because it's already gonna be
No,
short ranged.
Okay. Uh, all right. I'll definitely ask the Mandalorian about it. See if I can work on it.
So
Yeah.
what are you working on? Sorry, I just got back.
I'm actually going to wander over to your room and knock on the door.
Um, he opens the door, still wearing his armor, and you can see he's got the work cut out for him cleaning up that room.
Ugh, sorry about that. We figured he'd come up and clean it on his own. And you notice Nova is not wearing any of her armor. She's wearing kind of looser, comfortable clothing. Kind of, you can see like oil stains and grease kind of upper arms and some gloves. And you can tell she's been doing some repairs and maintenance stuff.
Something you need?
Yeah, actually, I was wondering if it would be okay if I had a look at your wrist mount, the flamethrower.
He actually does not have a flamethrower yet. I'm planning on getting a wrist launcher, but he does not have one.
Okay. If you are gonna get one, could you get another one? Or I know that I'm sure you have contacts, and was wondering if you could get two. This might be.
Well, once I get finished up with this room, I might be able to contact my clan, but I'm gonna wait until we're out of hyperspace before we do that.
We do have a secure communications hub if you want to encrypt it.
Alright. I'll see about doing that. You notice from the vocal distortion in his helmet that it is sealed atmospherically.
Oh yeah, Nova, as you went to go into the room, you smell the burning of various compost and also dead insects.
Okay. If you want, I can seal your area, and then if you want to leave and take everything out, I can seal this area and vent it. That should help.
He picks up his vibro battle axe. He says, "This is the only thing of mine that's still in here."
I look over your shoulder, see all the like half naked ladies. I'm like, yeah, we can vent.
Oh, I had already gotten him and just put all of that crap inside the box with the burning compounds and insects.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll seal that off, and when we exit hyperspace, if I can somehow vent or clean that area, I will.
Okay.
What I'm probably going to do is seal and kind of increase the oxygen purification in that area to like hypercharge it so it cleans up that area faster.
Okay. Cool. So, as you guys have head out a little bit, you eventually pass. Let's see. You guys have gone past this route before. Is it currently on autopilot or is someone piloting?
The ship is piloting.
Right.
So
It does
autopilot
itself. Okay. Would the ship have any communication with you?
I don't see a reason why it wouldn't, or at the very least, it could signal us if it needs it to.
Cool. So.
I mean, let's be completely honest. It has an intelligence of 20.
True. It is a fucking. It practically is a droid itself. I keep forgetting that. I think I said that in the last episode too. So, as that's all happening, and you guys are all resting and doing whatever, Nova, as you're finishing up repairs for your droid, you get a slight on your wrist communication, or your wrist communicator from the ship itself. You indicated it by color. It gives off a blue color.
Okay. I'll open the. Is it a written message? Is it a verbal one?
It's
I
a
open it
written
whenever
message, so it would show up in like a hologram.
Sure.
So as it goes onto it, it reads ship navigation approaching destination. Currently passing Bondemir station, heading towards Datros and Terrace. Warning: Terrace is off course of main hyperspace route. Recommend cutting course to avoid to avoid overpassing destination.
Confirmed. As I literally respond confirmed as I start heading towards the flight deck.
Cool. So it ends its communication as it does that. You head over to the flight deck and you see the Nexu just sitting in the pilot's chair in like the classic cat ball sleeping position as you hear like the slight like whinish like I guess you could say purr because I know they don't actually like are cats, but it kind of sounds like the weird whiny like purr noise.
Okay. I'm gonna gently kind of pick him up and either put him on my lap or put him on the co-pilot's chair.
Okay, so as you do so, it slightly wakes up, just. And as you sit it back onto the chair, she quickly just stretches out her big paws, showing her really large claws and opening her wide mouth, and then rests back down onto the new spot, getting comfy.
All right.
So, you get into the pilot seat. You start flipping switches and turning knobs to get yourselves out of the main hyperspace lane. You get about halfway out there as you are a bit far away from the actual system. It'll take you about another hour or so to get there, but you guys will be within. You guys will be there soon.
Okay. As that happens, I am gonna stop the ship, seal off the construction room.
Cart's old room.
No, no, the maintenance room where
Oh.
like our new mechanical area that's still like not sealed up, but all this equipment's kind of locked in its dresser.
Right.
And I'm going to call Victor.
Okay. As you go and call Victor, he comes over. What is it you want?
Sorry, I couldn't fix you in hyperspace, but if you move into the opening dock area as the like entrance area of the ship kind of opens up where like generally like cars and stuff would go in, not like the person one like opens up, and I'm like, if you enter there, we can get you into the ship and fix you up there.
I can fit in there?
Based on your size parameters, it'll be tight, but you should be able to fit no problem. It's not good for quick entrance, but you should be able to fit.
Vehicle mode or turret?
With most of your damage and your size increase in vehicle mode, stay in ship form, please.
Roger, roger. So, how are you gonna get him in while you're in space?
Well, he's basically just gonna use like small thruster adjustments. Like again, we're not moving, we're in no hurry. He can just slowly inch in and then kind of, because he can latch onto things even in like ship form. Just kind of grab.
But how are you gonna open up the cargo bay while you're in space?
Well, you just seal off the cargo area from the rest of the ship. Open up the ramp, let him come up onto the ramp, seal the ramp back up, and then unseal that from the rest of the ship.
Okay.
Yep. So I won't be able to enter immediately, and I'll have to
So you'll have to wait. Okay. So as you are closing up and sealing up the area for Victor to get into the actual bay, there are small windows here and there for some of the doors, not all of them. Luckily, there is one for yours. As you look over towards one of the doors that has a window, you see Victor detaching from the outside. He is hovering out as he slowly lowers himself, trying not to speed up, as just like a low engine rumble
Okay. I'll as he's kind of inching in, I'm gonna be sending, and the ship as well is gonna be sending him kind of data to kind of help him with adjustments and things like that.
Okay, so he inches in just very tightly. And you hear, as you do hear, like a slight scratch, like a slight scrape here and there. Um, he quickly readjusts here and there when he hears the scraping. As he eventually gets into the spot you're needing, he's still in vehicle mode as he only just lifts up his head from the slide spot and just looks around and then quickly goes back down. As he gets
Okay, I'm gonna.
as he gets on communications saying, "I'm finally in."
Perfect. Seal up the door and head off.
Okay. So you guys eventually head over to where the contact had.
Victor, did you happen to see anybody enter our ship at any point, by the way, while we were at the last base, besides us? I know you're not in the best position for it, but just wondering.
I did pick up a slight life form that was approaching into our ship. I had made an assumption that it was one of you guys, since I don't have true eyesight upon you all.
I'll see if I can hook you up into have better communications with Falcon, but besides that, yeah, no hard feelings or anything. Just they put a tracker on and we got rid of it though. Fortunately, we found it.
A tracker? Interesting. Also, your guys' ship is called the Legacy, remember?
Oh, it's a Legacy.
We're not in the Millennium Falcon. We're in the Legacy. But yeah.
No, the Falcon is in ownership by Lando at the moment.
Yeah, that is. That's true.
Well, maybe it's from someone else because I'm not sure the actual time frame of when Lando actually gets it. But
True, true.
the first person we see with it is see it with is Lando.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys eventually make it over to the cargo bay. As you see Terrace, due to your guys's, if you guys want to make lore checks, that's fine. I'll just naturally say what you guys know. You guys know that Terrace has been through some hard times during the old times of the Republic. You do know that it did have a bombardment at one point in its history, but over the course of its transformation in the galaxy, its surface has begun to get colonized a little more. Very similar to the stations, like how Kotar had it. Let me double check my knowledge so I'm saying this properly. Clone Wars. Let's see. I was planning. But while you guys are arriving towards there, you see that various hold on. Oh. Oh shit. Okay. As you guys are approaching various stations on Terrace, you do see that there is Imperial propaganda here. And you do see that there is somewhat of Imperial control here. As
That's totally fine. We would have the legal transponder active
right.
now.
So yeah, I just looked at the history. I'm like, oh, okay. So that's what happens to terrorists during the Galactic era.
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Are you okay there?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
So, I'm trying to see. Yeah, there's nothing really else. So, there is Imperial propaganda here. But, luckily, you have natural clearance during this time. As you make it over towards the hangar bay, that has a symbol above it that Nova, you recognize this symbol.
Alright.
This symbol looks very similar to the what is it? To the head of an Ackley. The Ackley has a bit of like a cut in the middle of its head, and then it has what looks like two long blasters, kind of like repeating, like large repeating blasters, that go behind it, kind of like Skull and Bones in a way. And then under it is like a curved crescent moon type shape with two spikes that go off to the side. You recognize this hangar bay as your old crewmate's hangar bay.
Nice. I'm gonna get kind of a smile on my face as I pull into it.
There's a whole plug of White Castle out here.
Cool. Cool. I'll probably get some in a sec. I'm doing a recording. So as you guys are approaching to there, you see that there isn't a lot of people here. There are some crew members. A lot of them, though, seem to be droids that are maintaining this area. But what you do see is a small figure holding a data pad who looks like he's standing on his arms with his feet in the air.
Oh, Doug!
Doug's.
Yeah, there does seem to be a couple Dougs actually on this station alongside with droids. As your ship begins to land, the Doug that is holding the data pad walks up towards your guys's to your hangar bay, and waits for you guys to enter or to exit your ship, I guess.
I gone out. I actually don't have much of my I have my underweave armor on, but generally I just coming out normally.
Okay. So, as you go out, you do see this Doug is a little older. He seems to have very, very long whiskers. Like they almost hit his chest. His skin is very flaky and almost oh man, what is it? Kind of liver spotty. As he looks over towards you and says, "Greetings from Terrace." What was your crew's name again? Sorry.
Oh, it's been a while.
If you didn't make anything, I could make something up on the spot.
You can totally make something up on the spot.
Okay. Well, as he says, welcome to Terrace. This porting deck is owned by the Ackley by the Ackley Cabal. If you're here for business, they are currently away, but my associates can easily take that over for you.
Is there any reference to somebody known as, and I kind of roll my eyes, Little Blue on there?
What's that?
I kind of I look and I'm like, is there any reference to anybody that would be named Little Blue on there, and anything you should do with that person?
Let me double check for a second.
I got my ass handed to me. My arm got cut off.
Yep. Yes, here it is, Little Blue. Last crew member that had left the Ackley Cabal. Said to be of age 16. This individual here is to be given full permission, as if they were part of the crew members themselves. Do you know the whereabouts of this person? They've been quite worried.
16. That was years ago, and that's me.
That is you. Make a persuasion. As he looks over you, I will need some verification to know that you are part of this crew. We haven't seen her in years. I was one of their last crewmates before she had left. I was recently recruited afterwards for handling this mechanics bay.
I'm just gonna kind of look around, kind of lean in close. I'm like, I know what they're hunting next. I've been in contact. What was it called again? They're hunting.
I can't remember what they were hunting.
It was what Han Solo was after.
Rathars?
Rathars. I know.
Yeah.
Wait,
I know they're hunting
weren't they
Rathars.
hunting
I've
for
been in
Great
contact.
Dragon?
No, not the Krayt Dragon.
And I
No,
know
wait, it
they've
was
been
a
setting-
Krayt Dragon. That's right. They were going after a Krayt Dragon.
Because
Well,
they were
Great
going
Dragons are
after something
Tatooine.
huge that had a huge payoff. That's how I remembered.
Yeah.
Well, Crate Dragons are on Tatooine, so right now I'm guessing they're getting supplies.
I think there are other places where you can get them. I might be wrong.
I would say Krayt Dragons could possibly be transported. Maybe at a young age, but they could possibly get transported.
Let me see.
Okay.
It's up to you, because I thought it was those other things.
Yeah,
but
I think it was that too. I just can't remember. Oh, you guys in the comments can actually write down what exactly we were talking about several episodes ago. You can check those episodes on the YouTube channel.
Shameless plug.
What's wrong?
right. Does that seem to convince him, or does he need a little more?
Did
Or
you
do I get like advantage with that diplomacy check?
did you roll?
I do not, because I am awful at it.
Okay.
one
Roll
second.
with advantage then, because you seem to know a little bit more than you give off. Okay.
17.
Okay. So, as he looks towards you, he's first kind of not sure, and he's like, and where exactly did you even get this information?
I called the doc. He let me know.
Is it truly you? Truly you? Little Blue?
Yeah, it's been a while. I've been busy.
By the hide of Huts. Where have you been in all this time? You know that doctor is more worried about your health in this galaxy than ever.
Yeah, I know. It's been hectic. You know how tight the leash is getting.
Yes, it's getting shorter and shorter every year. Well, it is good to see. It is good to see you again. And it seems you have a mighty crew with you as well.
They're a pretty motley bunch. We actually do need some parts, though. Willing to pay, of course. Have the credits at hand.
For you, we'll even give a discount. We are needing to make money after all to pay our workers here. Many of them are my own kin.
Awesome. I was also wondering if you could do a quick sweep at the outside. We've had a bug problem recently. I was wondering if you could make sure we haven't missed anything.
Bug problem? You being tracked down?
Hopefully it's nothing major, but
We can see what we can do.
stay on top.
As he
Thank you.
motions over with one other hand at a a couple pit crew droids as he looks over and says, "Guys, get over here and search this down. Bring the Astromechs too." As you just hear that, as you see them begin to get fuel and everything else and parts. There's a decent amount of pit droids. There's like 8 of them altogether, as they're like bonking heads a little bit here and there. But they're grabbing their tools and they're getting organized with like 2 astromechs coming by as well.
Are they going into the ship or just at the outside?
They're on the outside.
Okay, that's fine then. And I'm going to send him a list of parts. I'm guessing, like, unless you really know, you definitely wouldn't know what droid I'm repairing. But you could probably, like, a lot of cameras, like, kind of hidden secret cameras I'm trying to purchase. And extra parts for my...
inside, I see.
Don't want this to happen again.
Makes sense. We currently don't have any video-based technology with us, but I do know a person inside the complex that is currently on the market selling some. He sells the best quality stuff here and there that I know of so far. But you might want to hurry. I heard that he's going to be running out of them soon.
Okay. How many would it take to get a good cover of our ship?
A good cover, I'd say about 8 cameras altogether. Depends if you have any modifications on this YT-1300.
Oh, of course not. Nothing illegal, and I give him like a wink.
By your background that I heard, you were quite a troublemaker with these boys.
You weren't on long enough to see it.
That is true.
Yeah, I'll see how many he has for sale. And do you have anybody that has some high quality droid parts?
Droid parts. We currently have some droid parts, but depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking for military grade, we don't have any due to the Imperium segregating everything and demoralizing everybody of their good fortune.
Should be able to make do with this stuff. And I give him a list. It's not military grade, but it's definitely like good quality, but not made for military.
Of course, of course. He looks over the schematics and says, you got quite a droid here. What do you have exactly? We talking Clone War era?
I make sure nobody's around, and I give him like a short nod. I'm like, it's taking some damage, but I'm hoping upgrading it will prevent it from taking more.
He looks over towards you and quickly, he grabs something from like the side of his pouch, and he says, "Well, if you are looking for those type of droids," he hands like over a little like data chip. He says, "These are several contacts that we have been trading with. These contacts are quite suspicious, and they will not trust anyone unless you give them this data. They sell high-grade CIS technology. They have people from the very same organization during the Clone War. But do be aware, they are skeptical, so they will have blasters out first and questions later. You didn't hear this from me."
I don't know what you're talking about. And it's I go to shake his hand as I grab the data chip. It basically looks like just a handshake as I pocket it.
Yeah, he shakes. You shake his hand. He does like the finger, like "oh you" sort of thing. He says, "Well, we have plenty of stuff here. If you need refreshments or anything, we could do that. But be aware, our security officer is female, so she will look at you funny. She will be a Rhodian, very high mohawk. She's very cautious with our droids."
Don't worry, I'm not messing with. I won't touch any of your stuff.
Don't be taking any legs now. I heard about that adventure.
Come on, he could like limp. It worked fine.
Well, I gotta make sure there's some cargo coming in soon, so I'll see you later.
Sounds good. As I kind of heading off, I'm like, hey, if I have the time, do you need any droids in need of maintenance or anything? I'm
We have a
pretty skilled.
we have a few protocols. They need some more dialogue-based options. If you have any translators.
Would I? Because I'm really good at coding. Actually, is one of my skills. Would I be able to help with that?
Asking of DM. I'd say yeah. You could be
That is
able to
what
give some more languages that you've discovered. But if they already have some, then I guess you can enhance them a little more.
I can definitely smooth out their programming at the very least, make them quicker to respond and more natural in their communications. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'll give him a nod and head off with my droids in armor, so he just looks like a he just looks like basically a like security, and grab a like mover like cart as I head off to get the parts I need.
Okay. So, as you are heading off to go and do that, I'm currently trying to find the photo of the Rhodian that I had gotten. I don't believe they're on my phone. That's weird. Okay.
Oh, and what was his name again? The
Oh, yeah,
guy.
you didn't get his name.
Would I remember his name?
I'd say you wouldn't. I don't believe he said his name at all, and I think you left. At least in your background, you left a little bit before he got recruited.
Okay. As I kind of jog away, I'm like, hey, and your name is?
Oh, right, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Oratog.
Well, see you around, Oratog.
See you around, Little Blue.
God damn it.
He walks off, kind of just coughing a little bit, because he's old. So yeah. And I'm currently trying to find the photo of that Rhodian for later. So, as you look around the Bay Area, you see that it is somewhat messy, but it's been organized over time. You actually do see the old, Ackley bones that your crew had gotten from a very old Ackley that was very thorny. Like, this Ackley was covered in thorns. The head ridge even had a couple of them on the sides and on the crest itself. And yeah, looking over this thing, it's still in prime condition. It's still pretty good.
I'm guessing that's like the kind of symbol for like we got that early on in a job, maybe even before me, and that's been our like thing.
Yeah, you got this one very early on, during your time with them. This Ackley, you actually witness be killed in front of you, and was quite horrendous. The way it was killed, more of it was not being blasted from the head, but more into its stomach. As you do into its stomach and region, as you do see, there's actually some there's some blaster bolts. A few of them, like actually through a couple of the rib cages that have been repaired with like pieces of metal.
I'm gonna get a like spawn smile on my face as I rest my hand upon it, kind of smiling, and then quick tap and moving on.
Okay. So, I'm still trying to find that fucking. I think I have to move my files for just a second. But anyway, so you look around, everything seems pretty much the same. A lot of the Dougs that are working around here are just doing what they can. So yeah, what do you want to do?
I'm going shopping to get the cameras and
Alrighty.
the pieces of.
So, Buckeye and Lado, what are you guys going to do currently?
So, Zarek Latos, he's gonna walk out of the ship. He's currently wearing his heavy repeater on him and his vibro battle axe. His heavy repeater being a more Death Watch design of heavy repeater more than. Well, I'm pretty sure most heavy repeaters aren't really legal in most channels.
Yeah.
But he's gonna start looking for someone who might know where to find people who can remodel the room that he's staying in.
Okay. So, make me an investigation. Are you going out to where like the area is at, or somewhere else?
If there's a shopping complex, and I'll go there because they'll probably be able to actually trade in whatever is in Kark's old room. Whether they'd probably be accepting it for half price, if they even accept it at all. But I could probably trade that in and get like a bookshelf, a desk, and some beds.
Okay. Alrighty. So you look around. You are kind of having trouble finding a person, but eventually you do find someone that looks like they can help you with furnishing the area of where you're wanting. You eventually find a I forget the name of the species. What's the name of the species of Kit Fisto?
No,
I think it's Denodolin.
Newtolins, something like that.
Okay. So, you look around. If it'll fucking pop up. There we go. And you find this Numerian who is of a reddish-based color with white-based detail and the classic, like, black-colored brownish eyes. Newtolin, if I'm saying that right. She is currently just, looks like she's repairing. She has, like, eye covers specifically for her eyes, for, like, some welding, based furniture, as she seems to be welding, together a swivel-based chair. As you see that this market that you guys are in, both you, Nova, and Lado, this is a very wide market. This is more of like the people's place, where there's people going here and there. There's various food markets and fish fillet places and small spaces where like there's restaurants and all. This is where the people are at. As you do see like some Imperials here and there, but they're more up top, looking down on everybody, as all Imperials like to do currently on Terrace. A lot of them are just patrolling up on the second level. The second level isn't as busy as the bottom level. So yeah. She's finishing up with a chair, placing and laminating it a little bit, with coating.
I don't say anything as I just walk up to her place of business.
So, she's finishing up the chair as she looks over towards the droid that she's discussing. They finish up business as a set of other droid, or a set of two individuals of Zabrak and Rodian come over and pick it up. As she finishes up removing the goggles up from her head and moving her tentacle that's on her sides, just kind of like flailing with your hair a little bit, just flails them back as she shakes her head a little, as she looks towards you and says, "Oh, a Mandalorian. Is there a bounty on my head?" As she sarcastically makes a gesture of like putting up her hands, very smirking like.
I don't do bounty work. Anyway, I have a room that I need remodeled. You can have whatever's on it. But here are the things I'm going to need. And I lay out a small list of items, that being a desk and chair,
Okay.
a bed, a bookshelf, and a work bench.
Desk and chair. Workbench. Bed. And then what else?
Bookshelf.
Bookshelf.
You would have been on the ship, and especially while hunting through the ship, you would have seen a fully kitted mechanics area. So basically, if you're trying to model your armor, or literally like basically anything mechanical or piece, if you're trying to just do maintenance, just kind of keep your weapons clean, you can get one. But any harder
It-
stuff,
It's essentially just so that I can have an excuse to buy some arms tech tools, and I'm just going to keep those in my room. And, oh, last thing, an armor stand.
Armor. Okay, she looks over the list and says, and looks over. Okay. I could be able to get that done. It will take me about 2 days to finish, though. Are you trying to get this in a hurry?
I press the comm link, or activate the comm link in my helmet, and then, obviously, calming Nova, I ask, are we planning on leaving anytime soon?
I mean, we're in a bit of a hurry, but at the rate Rook is thinking things through, we can probably stay for a couple days.
Top of that. I believe we can be here for a few days, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Alrighty, then I will get started on those. And are you wanting any droid-based assistance installing these on?
I don't care.
Alrighty. I will ask for costs now, and I will get this stuff done in the time. Looking over all of this, what ship model do you have exactly, sir?
YT-1300 freighter.
She looks at you, like, quite surprised at hearing YT, like, instantly, like, oh, really? Well then, I will definitely...
No funny business.
Absolutely. Nothing of the sort. I will
And
get started on this then.
Then I lean onto the I lean on the table and tap on it twice with my finger. I say, "I'll pay extra for a comm link in the desk that's got, or a hollow terminal in the desk that's got a secure channel on."
Okay, I know a few people that can help me install that in. I will have that done as soon as I can. Do you have a contact I can send out, or someone I can contact to get to you, or direct?
No, but is it okay if I give him your comlink code? Or I'm a little bit. This is something we probably would have discussed before landing down, since I probably would have discussed getting the room renovated.
So I have a private code, and I would have given you my public code. Just
Okay.
this is something that like I give to like shops and things like that I don't care. There's no reason to worry about stuff like that.
Well, here's our ship's technically our mechanic and at the moment our main pilot.
Alrighty. I will let them know when I'm done.
Right.
And
And then
she quickly grabs her tools, gets her goggles back on, and begins to go back into her shop to get started.
now I'm a little bit, the luxury rooms already come with like one or two bunks already built into them, but I'm getting an extra bed just because I'm a big guy and probably need a bigger bed than that.
Okay. So, as that's happening, back over to Nova. You were heading over to the other person for droid parts, right?
Cameras first, because he said it was like in a hurry. But if the droid place is along the way, I'll stop there.
Okay. So, as you're heading out to there, you do find a couple people here and there passing by. As you do see that the shop that he was talking about was named Horrigon's Vision and Camera Salesman. You look over and it does seem a little busy. As you see various people going in and out with cameras and stuff.
All right, I'm gonna make my way over and look around to see if I can find a salesman or something.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna get a photo of the individual. So as you walk in, you see that there's various cameras that are able to be installed into any single type of ship type. From YT-1300 variants to small variants inside of like fighter cabins. As you do see a person, or you see multiple people at the front of the shop. There's various shelves and stuff with parts and all. As you see this individual looking over the stuff and is just going like discussing with other aliens here and there and various humans. As the person looks over towards you, I forget the species of the species name.
Alright, that's fine.
So it's their language. So, they look over towards you as they don't seem to have a translator on them. But right next to them is a protocol droid. As they go... The Great Malkala wishes you welcome and would like to know the business you wish to have here. We are currently having sales on nearly all of our camera-based operations.
Well, Lakala, I'm looking forward to doing business with you. I'm wondering if you have any, I'm looking for more discreet cameras based on a ship. Also wondering if you would have any magnification for a droid's... I named like a size of magnification that would fit on our Vulture droid.
Okay, so as they're talking, you mentioned the size of the droid as they quickly look like they have a bit of
I don't mention the like I basically say I want a magnification of this size of this type. So it's way broader category of what it could be.
Okay, so as you look over, they put up their hand against their against the back of their head as they like rub the side, and they say as the droid then translates. We currently do not sell any droid parts. However, we are able to get some various security feed for you.
That'd be excellent. How many would you be able to sell?
Droid. We are able to sell up to at least 12 items of cameras. We are trying to be sure we have enough for stock, for we are running fast.
Of course. Are these private, and would you have enough wiring to be able to connect to a central computer?
It's so hard to do this fucking voice, dude, because...
Yeah.
like, the fact that I'm doing it is amazing. We are able to do private various modifications, and we have regular surveillance available as well. We also have it to where we can set it up with your wrist-based communications if you have any.
Perfect. Sounds good. And I suppose we start hashing out fine details of exactly what our ship wants, and
Yeah. They look. He looks over at a little like a tiny little probe droid. If you ever played Battlefront 2, it's kind of like that one that Irene or Iris or whatever. If you played the campaign, kind of like that one, as he looks over, as it like pops out from the wall. There's like a wall of like multiple of them. A few of them are off helping off people, as it quickly like pops off and begins to float over, grabbing the cameras.
All right, and I'm definitely looking for like hidden cameras. So if somebody does break on our ship, they will not see them.
Absolutely, sir. So the droid comes over with 3 at first, comes back another 3. The droid looks over and says, "How many were you wanting to purchase?"
How much would a camera be worth, and what's the discount deal you have right now?
The store owner tries to do like show like fingers a little bit while talking. As he's talking, like the droid translates then. We are able to sell cameras currently with our discount for each one of our cameras about 2,000 credits each. Original pricing is about 6,000.
Is there a certain discount you'd be willing to give if a larger quantity is purchased?
Most of our bulk-based products would have to be in 12s. That's why we say that we have a maximum of 12, for that is our bulk count.
And how much of a discount would the bulk count be?
The discount would be about 25%.
Yeah, would it be actually 1 second? How much would 12% off 24 be? So I'm just awful at that type of
I
math.
have no idea.
Okay.
I said 24, right?
Well, because they're 20 each, and if there's 12, that's 24 in total.
I would say that would be about 1,500 credits for all of them. Or no. Well, yeah, 1,500. So 1,500.
Oh yeah, then I'd definitely get all 12 of them.
Okay. The droid comes back with a couple more here and there as a couple people begin to put it in boxes. Or like in a container for you to transport. So yeah. I will say after the droid parts, we will call it a session because I would like to relax a bit. So this will be a very short session.
Okay.
So Buckeye, was there anything that you were wanting to do at all?
Except like purchasing weapons, which might take a bit of time.
That's fine. We can do that. This will be a purchasing
Oh.
thing.
I'll go with Buckeye for the purchasing weapons after I'm done with the room renovation thing.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, it's probably something I can do at the start of the next session, like have my research actually done for next session.
Okay.
Not that I want absolutely to shorten the session, it's just I didn't know that we were gonna stop at a station today, so
Yeah, I didn't know either. I'll try to plan out stuff a little bit better about that.
It's fine. I'll have to myself be ready in case have some you know what, emergency plans in case this happens.
Yeah, contingency
This
plan.
kind of stuff happens. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I can say that.
It's alright, man. Okay, so with that, the person then just goes, and the droid translates finally. Thank you for shopping here. Was there anything else you were wanting?
That's everything. Thank you so much for the business, and may your sales go well.
Thank you very much for your hospitality. Make sure to come back anytime.
I get all the stuff into our carrying container, seal it up, and head off to the droids.
Okay. So, the coordinates to the area for the droids, seems to be away from the market mostly. Hold on, I have to in my mouth. The location for this seems to be a little bit lower than the market. As the directions for it seem to indicate that there are also symbols to follow, like secret symbols to see these people that no one would really think to see. They're more in like the graffiti that has been placed around here and there in the lower section. But you'd be able to recognize it within the images given.
Okay. I'd be making sure we weren't followed, but besides that, I'm following the instructions.
Okay. Roll a perception to make sure that you're not being followed.
Second. I'm going. Yeah, so my droid's gonna help me, and because of his scanning program,
Oh,
I
your
have
droid's with you?
Yeah, he's carrying the cart.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Alrighty then. Okay.
14 is the highest.
Okay, 14 is the highest. So, with you trying to really focus more on looking at the symbols, your droid doesn't seem to say anything, but looks towards you. Hold on. Looks towards you and says,
Madam, there may be a patrol coming up from Imperial Complex.
Direction?
300 feet towards the eastern side.
Alright, let's see if we can loop around them to the north. So I'm going to try to, based on the direction of the kind of directions we've been giving, I'm going to see if we can, like, make our way around and then kind of loop around, if that makes sense.
okay. Looking around this area, you do see that there's multiple hallways here and there. So you're trying to like just go around.
Basically.
Okay. So, you do see that you are able to go around, but this part of the hallway seems a little sketchy. As you do see, it kind of like opens up towards more of the outside area, to where like people can go outside to the atmosphere and all. You do see what seems to be two very showy based females, right next to a couple other individuals. They seem to be at work.
Hey, you gotta make money. You gotta make credits. I don't care. I'm just moving on. Like.
Okay, so they kind of like look towards you as one of them is like caressing the chest of like this big, overly sized creature. Kind of almost looks like a killer whale in a way. As she kind of looks at you and then just looks back at the guy. You are able to loop around. You do see like some you do see some Imperials like pass by, but they don't really take notice to you. You eventually find the door that's covered in like absolute garbage graffiti. Like it's bad. Like the whole wall is just covered with posters and everything, but you do see the outlining that indicates like where the knob and stuff would be.
All right, I'm gonna make sure no Imperials see us go in, but then I'm gonna go in.
Okay, so before you enter into the actual door, a little eyeball like thing comes out as it just goes.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
What?
Tog sends his regards. I'm here for business. Droid parts I hear you have?
The pitch of the droid begins to change a little. Just a little bit as you just hear like a as it eye just twists a bit and it goes and it goes back into its slot and the door begins to open up as there is what looks to be to you a bug like humanoid figure that seems to be covered in regular human-like armor to the best of its ability, but due to its Carabus-like nature, it is hard for it to look like a natural human.
And it probably looks very uncomfortable.
It looks... It does look a little uncomfortable, and this bug-like creature has very large wings, spikes upon its back, and bug-like eyes that protrude out. As it looks over at you, it also has like a weird like beard type function to it. As it looks over at you and just goes.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
The droid looks over towards you and says,
Mistress, I believe this is one of the creators of the CIS forces during the Clone Wars, known as the Geonosians.
Do you still have the language downloaded?
Affirmative. Language has been deceased for some time, but it is still in compatible database.
Alright, tell them we're here for business and have the credits to pay.
Kra kikaku pitan tukukishun. He says that he is able to do business, but not of right now. Several individuals are hunting him.
Stormtroopers or locals?
Kika boom pichishimpu upam. Several personal individuals that had wished to purchase belongings of his. However, he had refused, and thus now needs to owe a credit debt.
Can you give me a bit of information on these guys? If it doesn't cause us too much trouble, we might be able to come to an arrangement where we solve your problem. Do you know if the Imperials are also looking for them?
He says that there is no Imperial contacts, but however, they are willing to threaten him with Imperials.
Can't have that, can we? Can you give us any information? We might be able to handle this if you'd be willing to give us a discount on any future dealings we have.
hold on, guys. Repeat what you said when I get back for just a second.
Sure.
Okay, what'd you say one more time?
If you could send any of the information, we might be able to. The rest of the crew might be able to give her a hand, but we would require some form of compensation, whether it's discount or credit. Like, I'm not doing it as the kindness of my heart, but I have no problem helping you. Basically, is what I'm saying.
The Geonosian says that he needs to stay out of sight of all possibilities. Imperials are constructed to see any Geonosians to kill on sight.
Fair enough. Can you give me any information on the guys that are hunting you? How many are they all in one spot?
Several individuals are within Terrace. Several others are on Nal Hutta.
Well, no, Hut is a little far for us, but the locals we can definitely handle.
He then quickly looks over and says, as he's like talking to himself almost. The droid doesn't really say much to you, just looks at you and back at him as he pulls out some what looks like hollow recorders or like hollow nets, I guess. I'm not sure. As he like activates each one with their faces. One seems to be a Zadokrak, basically like a pink-skinned individual with like bluish hair. Another one seems to be a Rhodian female of origin with like a triple designed mohawk, and the other one is actually a Hutt that you recognize as the same Hutt that Maul is currently trying to recruit.
Conflict of interest.
So this is the only droid thing on the system that he was telling about. My friend, the Doug. No,
You're asking me.
that
My
was-
bad. Yeah, he is the only droid one that was there. Most of the contacts, as he said, were people of the old Separatist Alliance.
The Hutt. Why is he after you?
He says the Hutt is after him for manufacturing of the very same models as me. However, this information cannot be given out. If brought to the Imperium, will be instantly shut down if not eradicated from Imperial bombardment. If this Hutt is able to gain information on this, he will make sure that he has enough forces to cover his ass. As said by him.
Okay. DM question. So, if the Imperials find out about it, they will. So, could you clarify what he meant by that? I just have a little bit of.
I believe to understand that the Empire will destroy any remnants of the CIS Alliance. They will destroy all facilities that are within maintenance. This is where this individual Geonosian, possibly the last of his kind, if I am so recalled, has information upon this facility and its whereabouts, which may be also where he is getting his illegal parts for his shop.
So this hut knows where one of these shops are, and he's using that as leverage against you.
He shakes his head a little bit, like.
The hut is trying to get information upon the facility itself to bypass this individual.
See, would he have old? A quick question about Imperials. Would they just execute him if they found him with um Clone Zera droid tech?
He quickly like nods in agreement, like, and does like a does like the finger like cut off thing, and just does like a like cut off, like I'm gonna cut your head with a thumb sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you have any parts you'd be willing to part with? The others we can handle, but if we can plant this on the hut and make the Imperials handle it?
What exactly are you asking, so I can understand as DM?
I am. Seeing how we are going to transport him or help him get somewhere, I'm going to plant evidence on his ship and leave a droid part or something, and then basically snitch on him to the Imperials. So I'm basically going to use the Imperials like a hit squad.
On the person we're trying to recruit.
On the
Or at least Nura's trying to recruit.
on the person we are going to safely get to the location, and then once they get there, you know.
So wait, you're going to try and threaten him to get droid parts?
No. Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to understand. I'm like dead brained right now.
No. Okay. That's totally fine. So, the hut.
Yes.
We are going to be transporting him, and they always have their hover stuff. So I'm probably going to plant evidence on him in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he's arrived at the location for negotiations or is leaving or whatever, I'm probably going to get a tracker on him as well. So, droid parts and a tracker. And then I will
Okay,
basically
I think
tell
I
the
understand.
Imperial
You're
where he is. And because the Imperials will find it and then just immediately execute him.
okay. The Geonosian looks over at this plan and quickly shakes his head and says,
The Geonosian says that this will be impossible. He is heavily well guarded, and even the Imperium will not face the Hutts currently in their state.
If we could get you off system, could you continue to do business? I do have enough tech to be able to get you safely to our ship.
He sort of like tries to think, is very skittish as he goes over to a door, as he presses the button on it, and as it does so, you see what looks like a fully balled up droidica. As he begins to say,
This droid will have to come with him for extra protection. The Imperiums will be after him. If I am understanding, Mistress, if he is the last of his kind, if he is executed, he will not be able to come back to Terrace if found, and we will be hunted down for the execution and extermination of him.
That's a full droidica, and they're big. They're like, even in ball form, they're like up to your hip, right?
oh yeah, this thing is like up to your hip. It is fully in ball mode. It looks spanky new and polished. It looks like it hasn't been painted or anything like that. It's just pure Durasteel base metals.
Shiny.
Oh yeah, it's shiny.
If we could find a way to get both of you off planet, would you be willing to do business with the people that could do that?
He looks over and quickly nods to you. He then picks up from what underneath what looks like multiple toolboxes where he gets like about 4 of them. And just goes.
He says these are all his tools he will be needing to transport as well. He will be allowing you to use them.
Getting the droidic is the hardest part. Where in the based on like location, can I tell where in the station we are?
You guys are in the.
Like, are we in the center, the bot? Like, this is in space. So
You
I'm
guys
just
are in the
wondering
atmosphere
where.
of this planet, yes, but the station itself, I'd say you guys are in the middle of the station. So you were basically like, it's in middle and then semi-top and then actual top. Because you guys had to go like several layers because at the top, that's where most of the ships and ports and all are at. At least at this station.
Who the heck did you get him here?
He looks over as he points towards your crate.
I'm gonna have to make some calls. Are you secure here?
He nods.
Alright. I'll see what I can do for you. I am gonna give him a nod and head on back to our ship.
Okay. He closes up the door and makes sure he's hidden, as the lighting in this room makes him blend in quite well. Actually, like it was kind of hard to see unless he actually moved.
Okay. Would the others be back in the ship, or would I have time to quietly go into the secure communications channel and call a friend?
I'd say you'd have at least some time to go and see everybody there, but by the time right now, how far in the recording are we? I say about 3 more minutes, and then I will call it session, because I am just
Okay.
wanting to
Could
get
I-
some rest a little bit.
Okay. Could I quickly call the rebel contact? You know the one.
That is actually, yeah. You may have enough time to do so.
Okay. Do you mind if we go into one of the other channels for private?
Sure. Can you go in clones again, or is it in campaign
Sure.
chat?
I can go into clone.
Okay.
So I'm going to make sure our communications are
Sorry.
no problem. I'm going to make sure the communications are secure and help basically plug the computer into it to even make it more so. And I'm going to set up communication with them.
Okay, so you get onto a secure channel. You're able to find a good spot. As you get onto comms, are you wanting hologram with this or just the communication?
I am going to do hologram.
Okay.
And I'm going to be getting kind of a picture of what I saw kind of set up so I can show him the two.
Okay. So, as you get onto communications and you get onto the comms, you then see the familiar Super Commando tactical droid as he looks over towards you and says,
This is Alpha. What is it that you are needing?
Alpha, I have just found a interesting contact if we can help him get off base. And I send him an image of the bug guy and a droidica.
A Geonosian. This is quite illogical. Where exactly were you able to find this Geonosian in this time? All Geonosians were believed extinct and eradicated by the Empire.
What's the planet we're on again? It's
You're on Terrace.
he's actually hiding out in Terrace right now.
That is quite far from our current location, but not too far. We will have to make some hyperspace jumps in order to get you if you are needing to. However, Terrace is currently under Imperial occupation. We will have to settle for a less seen system. You will have to get him off secretly from your end and transport him over to us. We cannot risk doing a full-on hyperspace jump towards Terrace directly.
Understand. Do you have any information on? And I give him kind of the shipyard we're in. Could you gain any information on layout or any passages or anything like that at the for this place? Any information would be appreciated.
He looks over at the information as you see his eyes just flash a little bit here and there.
The layout for this will be quite simple, but there are some parts here that are cut off due to Imperial complications. There seems to be an away station down closer to the surface. If we are able to get a small citizen base transport, we can possibly transport him there. However, this will put us at risk of being discovered by the Empire.
So, based on the build, what's the quickest way out from where he is?
You will have to go down to the 37th level. There is an elevator that goes to the 29th, but any others will have to go on foot. Majority of the lower station is Imperial controlled, and majority of them will have some citizens, but very little.
So, up to our ship, then, is that what you're saying?
Correct. You will have to transport him in a possible cargo container. For the Droidica, though, if we can be able to get the Droidica schematics, we can even bring some into our rankings here. This will be a great advantage for the rebels.
Okay. I'll do some planning then, but I think we should be able to get it. I'll get back to you if we when we have an update on time frame. How long should it take you to get the ship here without drawing too much attention?
It'll take us approximately 2 days to arrive. However, we do have some complications to deal with here first. Once we are done here, I will contact you. Make sure it is on secure channel, as always.
I'll contact you again in 2 days. I should have a better estimate by then, and you should as well.
Copy that.
I'm gonna give a nod and turn off the communicators again, kind of a smirk on my face, and move off to the rest of the ship.
Okay.
No, they don't.
Alrighty. So, was there anything else anyone else was wanting to do?
I guess whenever me and Buckeye get back to the ship, what I do is I walk into the area that Nova described, and I say, "Are you about finished with whatever call you're making?"
Yeah, actually, we might have a job.
All right, that's nice. I need to make a call myself.
Okay. Secure, I'm guessing?
Sure.
Alright. I open up, and it's clearly kind of hidden away. It doesn't look like... It kind of looks like it's like a maintenance store or something. You open it up, and it actually backs into a little more of a spacious area. Would you have seen any of this type of equipment before?
Are you asking me in character or out of character?
In character. No, out of character. Out of character. Like, would your character have ever seen stuff like this before?
Like the whole secure lines and all this and that you have set up in here?
Yes.
Or the...
Well,
He
does he seem to respond? Well, you as a player know this is like military grade. This is the stuff we got from the Clone Wars ship.
I mean, he used to be part of Death Watch, and they were, at least up until they started going around killing people, they were all about being secret.
All right, so this is military grade encryption stuff. I'm like, you know how to work any of this stuff?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
As I start getting the cameras installed and waiting for the crew to meet up, and then I guess that's gonna wrap it.
Yep.
Or do you want to have your conversation?
Yeah,
With the DM?
Okay.
What I do is I wait for, if Nova does leave the room, I wait for it to do so,
Mm-hmm.
and I shut the door,
Okay.
and let's hop into Clone Channel.
Alrighty.
Okay, what I do is I start fiddling with the control panel for it to make sure that whatever call is being, if it is recorded on here, that it gets wiped with, right after the call is done being made, or information of the call.
Alrighty.
Is that going to be a technology roll, or
Yeah, that'll be a tech roll.
20 plus 5? 14.
14. Okay. So, fiddling around with this, you're able to at least get somewhat of the air of the thing of it done. As you're fiddling around with wires and pulling out a few things here and there and replacing it with others, it seems to look like pretty good. And you can make your secure call. Who are you calling?
I patch into my Mandalorian claim.
Okay. So, who specifically are you trying to talk to?
I'm just trying to reach the highest person who's currently available within the clan. I'm going to let you generate those characters.
Okay. So, let me pull up a photo of one. Because this will be pretty good.
Oh, is this going on Watch Your Fire?
Yes, it'll be going into Watch Your Fire. So, as you begin to get onto communications, you see this really heavy-looking, armored Mandalorian come onto there as they look down towards you. As they look over. What is your current rank in your clan?
You said we agreed that there's probably about 7 high-ranking officials within the clan at the moment.
Yeah, hold on. I can pull it up on the codex too to find out.
Well, I'd probably be somewhere around 4 or 5, towards the lower end of the high-ranking members of the clan, but
Yeah.
obviously not the highest-ranking official.
Okay.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm pulling it up right now. Let's see. Here we go, ranks. The Mandalorian on the screen looks towards you. And what exactly are you wanting this time, Rosalado?
I think I'm running with a new crew for a little bit. But I'm going to make sure that we're sliced into this deal as well. But until then, I'm going to need some information on where to find some weapons and armaments here on that terrace. If you can find that for me.
We don't have any intel on the terrace currently, besides it being occupied by the Imperials. And we don't have a clan member out there currently. What are you doing out there?
This crew I'm currently running with, they got stuck in a sticky situation. And so they need to stop for repairs.
I see. Make sure you're not caught by Imperials. If you do so, that means that Death Watch will be exposed. You know this.
Don't worry, we'll give them a good hurting if they do decide to step on us, if anything at all.
Good man. Well, currently, with the information we've gotten past from Terrace before, the last known variations of any particular weapons is basic grade, nothing really too special. However, with Imperials occupying it, they're going to have a little more firepower than we expect, so be aware if there might be any Star Destroyers.
I don't think we saw any coming into here, but this is a station. They're probably not too far away.
There are multiple stations on Terrace. We may have some on there, but not a lot. Whoever we come across, we will have to be cautious. We are still in hiding. You know this.
Very well aware. And we don't need to get dragged into politics like Bo-Katan did.
Let's not speak of that name here.
I'm sorry.
No need to apologize, Rusalado. Now then, we do have some slight business that is on the desert planet from before. You do know what I'm talking about, right?
Out of character, I do not, but in character, I probably would. Can you can you fill me in a little bit, since this is something we actually hadn't gone over in DMs?
Yeah, that's fine. Basically, there is a ritual that you guys have been performing, and the sand planet that you guys are currently on is actually the same sand planet that you guys are going to need to go to anyway. The one with the sandworms. So yeah. Good plot point for later.
Yeah.
Well, if you can get back here soon, we could begin. But we won't be waiting for you. All people that are wanting to rank up are going to rank up without you.
I'm pretty sure I can convince my crew to go along there at some point.
Well, hopefully they have business over there, because we do know there is that temple that may possibly be of interest if they're that sort of crew.
I believe there is one of that type, although he's not a warrior like I thought he would.
Really? Does he look like
More-
the Jedi?
I believe he is, although he seems to be more of a scholar than a warrior.
Places his hands in books instead of a blade.
Knowledge is important, but having the martial prowess to use it is also as important.
You're quite wise in that. Very well then. Make sure to stay in contact with us as soon as possible. I will send out a message to everyone else of your whereabouts so far, so they at least know.
The current terminal I'm on is not completely secure. I'm going to need to wipe this message from it. But here in about a week, I will have a new holo terminal set up that will be completely secure.
Copy that. Make sure that no Imperials tap into these. We don't want them finding out.
Zarek Lotto out.
He nods, and he gets off of communications.
Alright, and I'm going to spend an extra few minutes afterwards making sure that the message actually was wiped from the records. I'm guessing it's gotta be another technology check.
Yeah.
Almost a crit.
Damn. You look over. You did place the wires pretty well. A few misses here and there, but yeah, you're able to secure that channel, and it is wiped.
Alright, and then I'm gonna bet this fight doesn't require a roll since I'm more of just going backwards from the steps I previously took, and I'm just gonna replace the wires back in their previous
Okay.
configuration that way.
I'll
It's not like all fucked up.
I'll say with that 24, you're able to make everything look back the way it was.
Alright, and then I exit the room.
Alrighty, let's head back over. Okay, so with that, I think we will call session.
Okay, before we wrap up, one quick final question. Sorry, DM.
That's all right.
Because this server is hooked into our central computer, could it monitor the communication, or because it's secure, there's no way it could be monitored?
With it being a secure channel, your central computer can recognize it, but it will sort of recognize it a bit like a foreign message, because
Okay.
it's not part of an actual system. It's more of a secure channel. So,
Alright.
so yeah. So if it says like warning for fortified communication being intercepted or something like that, then yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Alrighty, then I'm gonna do the outro real quick. Well, that was a bit of a short session. I do apologize for that, guys. I'm quite tired, and I got a lot of stuff to do tonight. So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Star Wars 5e Adventures. If you liked it so much, make sure to hit the like button on the bottom and tell us our best moments in the series so far, or just write down something in the comments. If you're not subscribed and you're new to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for notifications from this channel. And if you are gracious, please share this with all your friends so we can spread the channel a little bit more with everybody. I hope to see you guys on the next session and the next episode. Hopefully we'll have everyone there, but until then, peace. Do-do-do, do-do, do-do-do-do.